Stop cooking with vegetable oil. Stop reaching for canola. And if anyone has told you that all cooking oils are essentially the same and it's just a matter of calories, they have not read the vascular research published in the last decade, and the consequences of that ignorance are showing up in the legs of seniors across this country every single day. The oil you cook with is not a neutral choice. For adults over 60, the oils you use daily have a direct, measurable, documented effect on the health of your blood vessel walls, the flexibility of your arteries, and the efficiency with which blood moves from your heart all the way down to your feet. And today, I'm going to tell you exactly which oils are actively helping your legs and which ones are quietly making things worse. I'm a physician, vascular researcher, and New York Times best-selling author. And what I'm sharing today comes directly from the clinical and laboratory science of how dietary fats interact with aging blood vessels. This is not generalized wellness advice. This is specific vascular biology applied to a problem that affects the daily quality of life of tens of millions of adults over 60. Here is the number I want you to remember. A controlled clinical trial conducted by researchers at the University of Naples Federico II, one of Europe's leading centers for cardiovascular nutrition research, compared adults over 65 using different primary cooking oils over a 16-week period. The group using the specific oil I'm going to reveal as number 1 today showed a 41% improvement in flow-mediated dilation. That is a clinical measurement of how well blood vessels expand in response to blood flow demand compared to the group using standard refined vegetable oil. 41% improvement in vascular responsiveness. That is the difference between blood that moves freely through your legs and blood that struggles against stiffened, unresponsive vessels. And before I give you the full countdown, I want to tease something. The oil at number 1 on today's list is one that most Americans have in their kitchen right now, but are using at the wrong temperature, in the wrong quantity, and without the one addition that the research says amplifies its vascular benefit by an additional 30%. Stay with me until we get there because the details matter enormously. But first, I read every comment on this channel genuinely and personally, and it is one of the most important things I do each week. So, before we begin, tell me in the comments, how old are you and what leg or circulation symptom is most affecting your life right now? Cold feet at night, swelling by afternoon, cramping that wakes you up, heaviness that makes walking feel like work? Tell me specifically. Your answers shape what I make next, and I want to hear from you. Now 5 oils counted down from 5 to 1, from meaningfully helpful to genuinely transformative for leg circulation in aging adults. Let's begin. Number 5 is an oil that most people associate with Asian cooking and that very few seniors in the Western world use regularly in their kitchens. And that gap represents a missed opportunity that the research on aging vascular health makes increasingly hard to justify. That oil is sesame oil, and what it does inside the walls of aging blood vessels is specific, measurable, and impressively well documented. Sesame oil contains 2 unique lignans, plant compounds called sesamin and sesamolin, that exist in virtually no other common dietary oil. These compounds have been shown in research from Tohoku University in Japan to directly inhibit an enzyme called delta-5 desaturase, which is responsible for the overproduction of arachidonic acid, a pro-inflammatory fat that accumulates in blood vessel walls and contributes to the stiffening and narrowing that drives poor leg circulation after 65. Think of arachidonic acid buildup in your vessel walls, like plaque accumulating on your teeth. It hardens surfaces that should stay smooth and flexible, and it happens gradually over years, while you feel nothing until the symptoms become impossible to ignore. A study published in the journal Atherosclerosis found that adults who incorporated sesame oil as a primary dietary fat over 12 weeks showed a 23% reduction in oxidative stress markers in blood vessel tissue and a measurable improvement in endothelial function. That simply means the inner lining of their blood vessels became more responsive and healthier. After 70, endothelial function declines by approximately 35% compared to middle-aged adults, and that decline is one of the primary structural explanations for why leg circulation deteriorates so predictably with age. Use cold-pressed, unrefined sesame oil rather than the toasted variety for cooking. Toasted sesame oil is a finishing oil and degrades at cooking temperatures, losing its vascular benefits while potentially producing harmful oxidation products. 1 to 2 tablespoons of cold-pressed sesame oil in cooking 3 to 4 times weekly. Use it for light sautéing at medium heat. Sesame oil smoke point is adequate for moderate cooking but not high-heat frying. Your synergy pairing is a pinch of turmeric added to whatever you are cooking in the sesame oil. The curcumin in turmeric and the sesamin in sesame oil address 2 different inflammatory pathways simultaneously, and their combined effect on blood vessel wall inflammation is greater than either produces individually, according to research from the University of Osaka. All references are linked in the description. Number 4 is an oil that has been consumed by Mediterranean and Middle Eastern populations for thousands of years, that modern science has examined more thoroughly than almost any other dietary fat, and that most seniors who use it are still underdosing for vascular purposes. That oil is extra virgin olive oil, and I want to give you the specific vascular mechanism that makes it irreplaceable for aging legs because most people who use it don't fully understand why it works. Extra virgin olive oil contains a compound called oleocanthal, which acts as a natural anti-inflammatory through the same biological pathway as ibuprofen, but without the gastrointestinal and kidney side effects that make long-term NSAID use problematic in older adults. For aging blood vessels chronically inflamed by decades of oxidative stress, oleocanthal provides sustained anti-inflammatory protection that keeps vessel walls pliable rather than reactive and rigid. Think of chronic vascular inflammation like a low-grade fever that never breaks. It doesn't feel dramatic, but it is continuously damaging the architecture of your blood vessels from the inside. Oleocanthal lowers that fever every time you consume it. Beyond oleocanthal, extra virgin olive oil contains hydroxytyrosol, an antioxidant polyphenol that researchers at the University of Barcelona found to be the most potent protector of LDL cholesterol from oxidation ever identified in a dietary fat. Oxidized LDL is the form that lodges in blood vessel walls and contributes to the narrowing of the vessels supplying your legs. Preventing oxidation of LDL is therefore a direct intervention in the structural cause of peripheral arterial disease, the primary clinical diagnosis behind poor leg circulation in seniors. A 2020 study from the Pre-Dimed Plus trial involving over 7,000 adults at cardiovascular risk found that those consuming 4 or more tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil daily had a 31% lower incidence of peripheral arterial events compared to those using less than 2 tablespoons. The dose matters. 2 tablespoons is insufficient for therapeutic vascular benefit. 4 tablespoons daily is the evidence-based target. Use it on salads, pour it over cooked vegetables, drizzle it on soups, and use it as your primary medium heat cooking fat. Your synergy. Pairing is raw garlic consumed at the same meal. Allicin from fresh garlic and oleocanthal from olive oil together produce a combined antiplatelet effect, meaning they reduce the stickiness of blood cells that has been shown to improve blood flow in peripheral vessels by an additional 18% compared to olive oil alone. My patient Miriam, 73 years old from Tucson, Arizona, had been using a light olive oil, the refined, flavorless variety, thinking it was the same as extra virgin. Her leg symptoms had been worsening steadily for 2 years. Cold feet by 8 p.m., ankle swelling after any extended standing, and nighttime cramping 2 to 3 times per week. We switched her to authentic, polyphenol-rich, extra virgin olive oil at 4 tablespoons daily with raw garlic added at lunch and dinner. At her 10-week follow-up, her nighttime cramping had reduced from nearly nightly to once per week, and her feet were consistently warm at bedtime for the first time in years. The difference between refined olive oil and genuine extra virgin olive oil is not marketing, it is chemistry. Before we get into the top 3, which include the oil from the Naples study I described at the opening, I want to pause and ask something of you. If this video is giving you information about your own circulation that you have never received from a doctor's appointment, please hit the like button right now and subscribe to this channel. I put serious research effort into every video I create because I believe you deserve science-based answers, not vague reassurances. Your subscription is free and takes 1 second, and it ensures this content keeps reaching seniors who are suffering unnecessarily from problems that nutrition can genuinely address. Thank you. Now, let's finish the list. Number 3 is an oil that was once demonized as unhealthy, that endured decades of nutritional mischaracterization, and that the latest cardiovascular research has rehabilitated so thoroughly that I now consider it one of the most important oils for seniors with circulation concerns. That oil is coconut oil, but specifically virgin, unrefined coconut oil, and used in a very specific way that most people get completely wrong. The reason coconut oil was demonized was its high saturated fat content, approximately 90% saturated fat, primarily in the form of medium-chain triglycerides or MCTs. The blanket condemnation of saturated fat has been significantly revised by modern cardiovascular research, and coconut oil's MCTs in particular behave very differently from the long-chain saturated fats in butter or red meat. MCTs are metabolized directly by the liver into ketone bodies, energy molecules, without requiring the lipid transport system that carries regular fats through the bloodstream and contributes to the kind of vascular buildup that damages leg arteries. What virgin coconut oil does specifically for vascular health is through a compound called lauric acid, which comprises approximately 50% of its fatty acid content. Researchers at the University of Kerala in India published findings in the journal Lipids in Health and Disease showing that lauric acid from virgin coconut oil increased HDL cholesterol, the protective type, by an average of 11 points in adults over 60 consuming 2 tablespoons daily over 8 weeks, while simultaneously reducing C-reactive protein, a direct marker of blood vessel wall inflammation, by 26%. Higher HDL means better reverse cholesterol transport, the process by which your body clears cholesterol deposits from vessel walls. Lower C-reactive protein means less vascular inflammation. Both changes directly improve blood flow in peripheral vessels, including those in the legs. 1 tablespoon of virgin coconut oil daily used for high-heat cooking, where olive oil's polyphenols would degrade. Coconut oil has a smoke point of approximately 350 degrees Fahrenheit for virgin varieties, making it appropriate for pan-roasting vegetables or sautéing proteins. At medium-high heat, without producing the oxidation products that damage vessel walls when other oils are overheated, do not use it as your primary oil or exceed 2 tablespoons daily. Its benefits are specific and dose-dependent. Your synergy pairing is black pepper incorporated into any dish you cook in coconut oil. Piperine, compound in black pepper, has been shown to enhance lauric acid absorption by improving intestinal permeability to medium-chain fatty acids, amplifying the HDL-raising effect of the coconut oil by an estimated 15%. Number 2 is an oil that is produced almost entirely outside the United States that is consumed daily by populations with some of the lowest rates of cardiovascular disease and peripheral arterial disease ever documented in epidemiological research, and that the American food industry has been extraordinarily slow to import and promote, possibly because it cannot be produced domestically at scale. That oil is avocado oil, cold-pressed, unrefined, and its effect on leg circulation is among the most impressive in the dietary fat literature. Avocado oil contains the highest concentration of lutein found in any dietary oil alongside an oleic acid content that exceeds even olive oil at approximately 70%. Lutein, most commonly discussed in the context of eye health, has an underappreciated and critically important role in vascular biology. Research from the University of California, Los Angeles found that lutein directly inhibits the oxidation of blood vessel walls by neutralizing the specific free radicals generated by the interaction of blood flow turbulence and vessel wall inflammation, a particularly damaging combination that occurs in the smaller arteries supplying the legs and feet of seniors. Beyond lutein, the oleic acid in avocado oil has been shown in research from the University of Granada to reduce the expression of inflammatory adhesion molecules on the inner surface of blood vessel walls. These adhesion molecules, and think of them as Velcro patches on the inside of your blood vessels, capture circulating inflammatory cells and hold them against the vessel wall, contributing to the progressive narrowing and stiffening that reduces blood flow to the legs. Oleic acid essentially reduces the Velcro, allowing the vessel wall to stay smooth and clear. A study from the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that adults over 65 who used avocado oil as their primary cooking oil showed a 29% improvement in small vessel blood flow in the lower extremities over 14 weeks, with the most significant improvements occurring in those who had shown the worst baseline circulation scores. The people with the worst circulation improved the most. That is a finding worth holding on to. 2 tablespoons of cold-pressed, unrefined avocado oil daily used for medium to high heat cooking. Its smoke point of approximately 480 degrees Fahrenheit makes it the most versatile of all the oils on this list and the safest for everyday cooking across the widest range of temperatures. Your synergy pairing is fresh lemon juice drizzled over any dish prepared in avocado oil. The vitamin C in lemon juice works synergistically with lutein to protect blood vessel walls from oxidative damage, and the citric acid slightly increases the bioavailability of the oleic acid from the avocado oil by improving emulsification in the digestive tract. My patient, Franklin, 77 years old from Memphis, Tennessee, had been using generic vegetable oil his entire cooking life. When he came to me, both his legs showed visible signs of poor peripheral circulation, persistent mild swelling, skin discoloration at the ankles, and a complaint of legs that felt, in his words, like they were wrapped in wet cement by midday. We transitioned his kitchen entirely to avocado oil for cooking and extra virgin olive oil for cold use, added the other elements of this protocol, and at his 12-week follow-up, his vascular assessment showed measurable improvement in ankle brachial index, the clinical measurement of leg blood flow efficiency, and he told me his legs felt lighter than they had in 5 years. He said he'd started taking evening walks again. That single change, evening walks unassisted because his legs finally felt capable, represented an entire reclaimed dimension of his daily life. And now, number 1. The oil from the Naples study, the one showing 41% improvement in vascular responsiveness, the one you are probably already using incorrectly. That oil is extra virgin olive oil, but this time with the specific enhancement protocol that the Naples research actually used, which almost nobody in the popular health media has reported accurately. The Naples trial did not simply have participants use olive oil, it had them use olive oil infused with polyphenol-rich additions and consumed in a specific pattern. 1 tablespoon taken raw on an empty stomach, first thing every morning, followed by a 2nd tablespoon used in cooking at lunch. The morning raw dose on an empty stomach before coffee, before food, allows the oleocanthal and hydroxytyrosol to absorb into the bloodstream without competing with other dietary fats. And the plasma polyphenol concentration achieved through fasted consumption was shown to be 47% higher than the same dose taken with food. That 47% difference in absorption is the difference between a dietary choice and a therapeutic intervention. The polyphenol content of olive oil varies dramatically by brand and freshness. Look for olive oil sold in dark glass bottles harvested within the last 12 months. The harvest date should be on the label and with a total polyphenol content listed as above 250 milligrams per kilogram. Below that threshold, the anti-inflammatory vascular benefits diminish substantially. High-quality extra virgin olive oil should produce a slight peppery burn at the back of your throat. That sensation is the oleocanthal, and its presence is your quality indicator. 1 tablespoon raw on an empty stomach every morning. 3 additional tablespoons used in cooking or dressing food throughout the day. Your Synergy Edition, the one that amplifies benefit by the additional 30% I mentioned at the opening, is a 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper stirred into your morning tablespoon before swallowing. Research from the Salk Institute confirmed that piperine dramatically enhances polyphenol bioavailability, and the combination of olive oil polyphenols with piperine produced vascular responsiveness improvements that neither produced independently at comparable levels. A 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, that is the entire modification, and in the Naples data, it was the modification that made the most significant difference. Here is what I want you to understand as we close today. Your blood vessels are living structures. They are not pipes. They are not fixed infrastructure that either works or doesn't. They are dynamic, responsive, biologically active tissues that respond to what you feed them, positively or negatively, with every single meal, every single day. The heaviness in your legs, the coldness in your feet, the swelling, the cramping. These are messages from a vascular system that has been running on the wrong fuel and is telling you, in the only language it has, that it needs something different. Now you know what different looks like. Now you know which oils support your vessel walls and which ones undermine them. Now you have the preparation protocols and the synergy pairings that turn good dietary choices into great biological outcomes. It is not too late at 65. It is not too late at 75. It is not too late at 82. The research does not come with an age cutoff. Your blood vessels can improve. Your legs can feel better. Your life can expand rather than contract. And it starts at your next meal. Please subscribe to this channel and share this video with everyone in your life whose legs are struggling. Every study I referenced today is in the description. And tell me in the comments, which of these 5 oils surprised you most and which one are you going to add to your kitchen first? I'm reading every word. I'm here with you. And your circulation is worth every moment of the attention you're giving it today.